have to love what it is that you are selling. You have to. You either have to love the outcome, you have to love the product if there's a product base. There has to be some fire, as my business coach would say, either it lights you up or makes you angry. And so when I think back to when I originally started the product before I was ever selling it, what lit me up is that I was able to make my child feel better.
Hey, we live now, really.
I got a question for you. So, what do you think is the most important thing about Heal Body and how it has gotten to this point? Because y'all have been in business now, for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
All right, we moving on to year 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, we putting longevity into this now. So, what do you think is the most important thing for an entrepreneur in starting a business? Loaded question.
Yes, a loaded question. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
No, you could handle that one.
You have to love what it is that you are selling. You have to. You either have to love the outcome, you have to love the product if there's a product base. There has to be some fire, as my business coach would say, either it lights you up or makes you angry. And so when I think back to when I originally started the product before I was ever selling it, what lit me up is that I was able to make my child feel better. What lights me up now are all the stories. I'm making the same product over and over again. We don't have a lot of products. It's a hero product for a reason, is because people tell me all these wonderful stories about how it is healing them. And then it reinforced the idea of the name. And the name, by the way, was literally dreamt up. I woke up one morning and that was the name, and it stayed that name. Never thought about deviating that name.
You can't just gloss over that now. You just woke up out of bed and you just had a business name. Hold on, does it work like that? So is that really how it happened? I need the story, man.
That is how it happened. So that's not always how business happens, right? Normally, I've worked for many companies, and normally there's a product naming team and all of that other stuff. But in our case, it literally was a dream. So this was maybe 24 hours after Tamara was like, you should do this. And it was, her brother had mentioned, you don't want to be a millionaire the next day. I was like, all right, bet. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to start playing with some things and doing some research. And I kind of sat down in the bed over the weekend and started just thinking about some things. I didn't think about the name yet. I didn't think about the name at all. I went to bed, and the next morning when I woke up, Heal Body was in the brain. And I was like, maybe it should be Healing Body. Maybe it should be, I kind of danced with a few other things, but I did not come away with any other feeling than that should be the name. And over and over and over again, it has proved that that should and will probably always be the name of the company. But yeah, it was completely a dream.
That's good. So I'm hearing a lot about you talking about the people around you, the people pushing you towards that success, pushing you along that journey, and kind of being there to motivate you and saying that, hey, you got a great product. Hey, you should be doing this. Like, you should really be getting out here. So do you think it's important to have, A, good people around you, and then 2, do you really think it's important to have a good team as well? Like, people that's helping push the brand forward, pushing whatever you sell, and pushing the product, pushing it, to the next level, So
yeah,
you think that's important?
You're the pusher. Do you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. hey, come on, man.
You're the pusher.
Well, you naturally say I'm a salesperson, but I think with being in my field, I have to be a certain way, and you can't be weak. I have to be aggressive, and I have to state what it is. So in the sales force, which I'm a great salesman, I don't ask them to buy it. I'd be like, here, like, buy this. Yes, buy this. But I wouldn't be that way if I didn't know it worked.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. You have to know, and healing comes from within.
Right. That's important. So that's the push part. I will be honest. I am a perfectionist. I struggle with imposter syndrome. I want everything to be perfect before anyone gets a whiff of it. And so having all of those attributes, you really need someone who is a pusher and is like, nah, forget that. Just go ahead and do this. Just do this small thing and see if it works. And that gives you the confidence to move forward. So if there's anything you can take out of this conversation, if you are an entrepreneur or you're thinking about starting a business, nothing is ever perfect. It's people out here in these streets doing stuff that they have no business doing, and they're making a shit ton of money doing it. I would say start small and continue to do it. But the answer to your question about do you need to have people around you? One, you need to have very positive people around you, people who care for you and love you. And they may not even completely love the product. They may not even understand the idea, but they have a love for you as a human. Yes, all day, 2 times on Sunday. And I really feel like that's what Tamara, her family, some portions of my family, definitely my friend network, having that network is important, because when you think, maybe I shouldn't do this, your friends come through. We've had pop-ups before where 90% of our sales that day were all of our friends showing up at the pop-ups. We've been at pop-ups before where other vendors were wondering why we had so many customers, but it was just all of our friends showing up. So you need that as an entrepreneur. You need to have that network around you.
That's awesome. And then, so you have the network, and then you have the people around you that's supporting you and that's helping you kind of go to that next level. Because that's the thing too. Like, it's easy to, one, believe in your dream, believe in the vision yourself. But once other people around you can see the vision, once other people around you start to see it, you like, oh, okay, maybe we are on to something.
Yeah.
And it's a we, and then it turns to, instead of a me thing, it turns into a we thing.
Absolutely.
Because they pushing you, they want you to go to that next level. So let me ask you this. So, you sound so passionate and so, happy about this product and happy about your business and what you're doing. So do you ever see yourself doing something else, or is this your purpose? Do you think you found that thing for both of y'all? Do you think you found that lane or that thing that you're really happy about, that you wake up and motivated about, and that you kind of think about, okay, what can I do next? How can I improve this? Do you think you have that zeal in you like 24/7? Is this your purpose? Is this what you really want to do?
I'll start with this.
Yeah, go for it.
Loaded question.
Well, I'm looking forward to retiring in 4 to 5 years. So
Yeah.
I think once I got involved with the company and being an entrepreneur, I was like, I wake up, I was like, oh, I got an idea. Let me do this real. Or, oh, I know I want to meet to direct it towards the kids. We don't have any kids involved. Let the kids. So I went to one of my coworkers who had a 3-year-old daughter. Well, she was 2 at the time. And she just opened it and started using it naturally.
She did.
Yeah. And
It's
now
our
she's
youngest
our
customer.
spokesperson.
She is.
So I wanted to hit each age group,
Yeah.
the older, the younger, teenagers, and it just fell into my hands. And I'm like, okay, so now I just have ideas and I just run with it.
Yeah, I would say that you're very much, they call sometimes people accidental leaders. I think she's very much an accidental leader. Like, she didn't know that she was going to have this goodness in her, but then all of a sudden it's like, well, let's do this. Well, let's do that. So I think for you, you'll constantly just can help me evolve, because again, I'm a perfectionist. But to answer the question, for me, I can't imagine myself doing anything else. I'm not as close to retirement, but I am trying for an exit plan. But the healed body, natural body product is like really phase 1 of many. So we're actually aspiring to build what's more so considered a lifestyle brand. I am a Black woman in tech. I have a lot to say about that. One thing that I will bring up here, and one of the reasons and ways that I use the product is actually for self-care. Being a Black person in tech in 2024 is no joke. It's more than microaggressions. It's more than taking a couple of offensive comments. You're talking about, at times, daily trauma. And so how do you navigate somebody telling you that you don't look good, that you're not as good, that you don't have the capability and ability, or you shouldn't be in the room? Like, you're told that in so many different ways. And so that is really the big picture for a healed body. So whether it's through coaching or through experiences, or just actually helping people understand that you can regulate your emotions by using the product on yourself before them crazy ass meetings, or deciding to put the keyboard down before you send a per my email. Y'all know how that is. So that's really the bigger vision for Heal Body. So to answer the question specifically, yes, I think this is the only thing I see myself doing, but I am open to what it can become. Like that's what's in my mind right now. But as this gets bigger, as it gets exposed, there's a greater opportunity that I may not even know. So I don't want to say no to those opportunities that come as well.
It's an empire.
It
and
is a
I've
small empire.
always told you.
Yes, boss ladies, let them know. It's women for a reason.
Right. You speak those things as they are, and it will become reality.
It's true.
I always told you that.
do.
So
You
it's
do.
going to be an empire.
Hey, we live now, really.